All right, welcome to Here's to the Rubble, episode 23. Joined today by Steve, as usual, and James from Noise Pending, who
how's it going?
You may have heard as the intro to the podcast this episode with Beach Town.
I like that as the intro. Usually I feel like our songs, the intro songs are more like
fast-paced, kind of.
Yeah, or like aggressive. It's kind of nice to just have a chill, like this feels like it's going to be like a nice little
this feels like it's going to be a very peaceful episode.
Just a nice, just chill episode.
Yeah.
I think I'm very happy you said it that way, Steve, because for those of you watching, we were kind of joking around before we started this. And making fun of Steve for his ASMR. So stay tuned. I'm sure Steve will.
I'm just gonna be
updating us all with that YouTube channel one of these days.
Oh yeah, I'll just be chewing my Subway into the mic.
One of those crazy ear-shaped microphones they got.
Binaural or whatever they call them.
No.
He's got a meatball marinara on this side, Italian Philly cheesesteak on this side. All hell breaks loose.
I'm just surrounded by sandwiches. I'm ready to go.
He's like that guy Jared from Subway. He's just
Oh no! Hey, listen, I don't know if I'm just like that guy, Jared from Subway.
A couple minor differences, but like
a couple. I'd say.
One or two. Sorry. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so what have you guys been listening to?
Man, James, you want to go first? I actually got to think a little bit about my answer, I think.
Oh yeah, sure. Just toss me right in the deep end. Thanks. Great to be here.
Happy to have you.
On Here's to the Rubble. So this week, some of you may know that Steve is a music major, and I am also a music major. And we go to the
true.
We go to the same school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a performance major, and that means a lot of stuff.
It means he's better than the rest of us.
No, I'm better than Steve, but that is a pretty low bar.
Right.
True. This is true.
Anyway, so one of the things I have to deal with is a recital. I'm doing my junior recital this year, and I'm really into this drummer named Nate Smith, and he does this kind of like very contemporary jazz music to the point where some of that stuff, I was talking about this with my private instructor, if it's even really jazz, like some of that stuff might just be kind of funk or rock and roll, but those chord extensions and the way he plays things and I think the instrumentation make it kind of under the jazz umbrella, but I'm not really sure where exactly you would put it. So we kind of use the vague term contemporary jazz, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's got this great album. He's got a stellar album that came out in 2017 with his band Kinfolk. It's called Postcards from Everywhere.
Postcards from Everywhere.
Yeah, it's a great album. Lots of really great drums. To me, I like music. Like I really like albums that have a bit of like versatility. Obviously, not every album is gonna have something for everyone. Like Billy Talent has the Billy Talent sound. If you don't like that sound, then don't listen to Billy Talent. That kind of thing, right? But I think if you're into like harder, like more guitar heavy stuff, then Postcards from Everywhere will still have something for you. And versus if you're into maybe something a little softer, then that album will again have like a lot for you. And I was just into that vibe. I want my recital to be kind of like that. I have a little something for everybody. So
right.
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of what I've been checking out this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually I just added that to my playlist. I'll have to check that out, and I guess I'll talk to you about it whenever I see you next, James. But I guess RJ, do you want to go next, or I guess I don't have a ton to talk about this week. But you told me before we started you finally listened to an album that I've been telling you to listen to for like months now. So I'm pretty much like
since we started the podcast, it feels like.
Yeah, pretty much.
I listened to Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. Like that's what I was finishing when I said I was gonna be here in a minute.
So are you sad now?
No, I was able to hold it together.
All right. Wow. Okay.
But I did really enjoy it, and I did think it was a really good, like, emotional album like that.
Yeah.
I think it, killer album. Very talented.
So good, man.
yeah.
I only got into that. I heard it for the first time this summer, and that was when I was like, you need to listen to this, because like, and I had heard for like a long time, like a lot of people were like, oh, Phoebe Bridgers, she's amazing, she's this, she's that, or whatever, and I was like, yeah, but how good like can she really be? And then I listened to that album, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm devastated now. I'm really glad I listened to this.
Yeah, I think especially like I think the build up towards the middle of the album is really good, and then just like the ending. I don't know. I feel like it was a really smooth album.
Dude, I think it's put together so well. That's an album with no skips for me. I think every single song on it is like fantastic.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what playlist I would fit it into.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely gonna at some point, give this more listens. I definitely enjoyed it.
Totally.
I've been trying to like listen to an album when I walk to work and walk home and shit. But,
yeah, I like to do that too.
But my walk is only like 20 minutes if I walk slow, so only punk albums really fit into that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey man, that was Joyce Manor and Mom Jean's albums I sent you.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that next. And also, what I'll do sometimes is like listen to the first half of an album on my way into work and the second half on my way home, something like that.
Yep, that makes sense.
Division of labor. Excellent.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I listened to Never Hungover Again by Joyce Manor.
Love that album.
Yep, you sent that to me. And yeah, that was killer. But not the star of what you sent me. I mean, obviously,
really? Okay.
So you also sent me Goo by Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
And already, before I even listened to the other two, I already knew that was the star.
Yeah. Well, you've also listened to it before.
Right, exactly. But Best Buds, Mom Jeans,
fucking great, right?
That album's killer. That's like emo, right?
Yeah.
They're
That's
an
like
emo
Midwest
band?
emo. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to get into more of this emo stuff if it's like that.
Oh, hell yeah, Brute. Okay.
But like Straight Line Arrival, they call themselves emo, so I guess I kind of like that kind of emo.
Yeah.
I like the more punk side of emo.
Yeah, well, I think Joyce Manor is kind of that to me. Like,
Yeah,
if you listen to their first album, which I told you to listen to a long time ago. I don't know if you ever did or not.
I did, but I don't remember.
Okay, cool. That's more of like the punkish emo thing.
Right.
And that style of music is like, I've just been super, super into that for the last couple of years. I don't know why. That's just like, it's just my jam, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just wanted to bring this up to you just because we're talking about Mom Jeans, and I happened to see this tweet today.
Just hit my mic. Go ahead.
I saw a tweet that said, Mom Jeans is way better than modern baseball. It's not even competition or something like that.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I disagree.
What modern baseball album do I need to listen to?
Okay, listen to
I'm gonna download it right now.
The problem is they only have 3, but they're all. I've only listened. I think that's true. 3. Yeah, Holy Ghost. You're gonna miss it all in sports. I do this thing sometimes when I find an artist that I really like. This is gonna sound so fucking stupid. I don't listen to them that much. Now, give me a second. I'm gonna explain myself. It's because I did this exact same thing with Phoebe Bridgers when I listened to Punisher. I listened to that album front to back, and I was like, "Holy fuck, that was so good. That affected me in such a way. I need to save this."
Oh, you're like, it's too good. It's too good.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to
burn
to
out.
Listen to exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn out, because I've done that before with bands where I'm like, "This is my favorite band in the world," and I listen to their entire discography over and over and over and over and over again. And now, like a year later, I'm like, "Yeah, they're just not really doing it for me anymore." But modern baseball, I've listened to "You're Gonna Miss It All," that album front to back, and I think that's a fucking fantastic album. And I've listened to most of sports, if not all of it. And then their most recent one, Holy Ghost, I haven't listened to as much from. I know like a couple songs off of it that I fucking love, but I haven't listened to the whole thing. So I would say You're Gonna Miss It All is a good one. That's probably my favorite.
All right,
but
I'll
sports
have
is
to
also
give that
really
a
good
listen.
too. They're fucking great.
Well, yeah, I really like that Mom Jeans album. So this modern baseball album better hold up.
Oh man, I think it will. If it doesn't, I probably will just like you less because you'll have a bad opinion.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you this at any point, but a few weeks ago I listened to that Willie Nelson album.
The jazz one, yeah.
Yeah, that
James,
was
do you know
killer.
about this?
Yes, I've heard. I haven't gotten around to listening to it.
Oh, dude, it's one of my favorite like relaxation albums. Willie Nelson Stardust. I think it's just so. I don't know. It's just such a good, like, calming, peaceful vibe.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
specifically listened to it when I had like before work when I had to go in at like 7 p.m.
Mm.
And I was just trying to like relax before work. Threw in the headphones, listened through that, and I had a good day.
Yeah, I bet. James,
When
you
I
were trying to
heard-
say something there?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just saying when I heard Willie Nelson was doing that jazz album, I was pretty like not too surprised. I remember
Mhm.
like looking at some of his like chord sheets like from his other stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just like the extensions he has on there like are jazz.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
have like the sharp 9 flat 9, 11s and 13s and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'll be like, I think you could probably write a standard if you felt like it, Willie. And then I heard about this jazz album and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that tracks. It's a logical progression of like your
Yeah,
understanding of
right.
music. Yeah.
And this album that we're talking about is actually from the 70s. Like,
Oh
it's
really?
from
I never.
yeah, it's from 1978. Like, which is the kind of crazy to me that it's
Wait,
like that
what?
long. Right? Yeah.
How am I just hearing about this? Like, I think like literally 2 weeks ago, somebody told me to check out this
Well,
jazz album. I thought it
people
was a new thing.
people don't talk about it, man. Like, I had no idea this was a thing either. My first year at McEwen, my roommate Mitch, you know Mitch, right?
Yeah.
Great guy, great
Sax
taste in
player,
music.
right? Yeah,
Was that?
the sax player, right?
Yeah. You guys are in
Yeah.
big band together.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Anyway, we were just talking about shit and like, cause he likes old country and he obviously loves jazz. He's the one who really got me into a lot of like great jazz like artists. Like, he's the one who got me into Charles Mingus, who, by the way, incredible.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Right. But anyway, he mentioned to me, he's like, yeah, Willie Nelson actually has a jazz album, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, cool. And he was like, no, man, I'm serious. It's amazing. It's really, really good. And I was like, actually, it's good. And he's like, listen, you got to check this out. And so I'm like, all right, fine. And I listened to it and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. This is amazing. And when I just saw him recently here, cause he just moved back to Edmonton, from Calgary because, he just did, cause online school or whatever. It was a fucking whole thing, but he managed to track down a original version of this album from the 70s on vinyl. So I went over to his place and we I sat on the floor and just like listened to this thing while we like hung out, and it was just like, it was incredible, man. Check this album out. It's really good. Like, it's not like, it's definitely not bebop or anything. It's very like chill. It's Willie Nelson singing jazz, but he has like, I think his versions of some of these standards are like my favorite versions. Like, I really like his version of Someone to Watch Over Me specifically.
Right.
On the Sunny Side of the Street's really good too.
Sunny Side of the Street is just a god tier song.
It's just a great standard in general. Yeah.
Yep.
His version of Blue Skies is really good. I'm just gonna name every song off the album. I should stop. But it's really good, man. Yeah.
You say that because like, because you just brought up Charles Mingus as well,
Mhm.
and I'm sure Willie has his own roots and feel that kind of gets infused into this jazz music. But like Charles Mingus very famously was asked in an interview, "What is jazz?" And he kind of like sits there and like pauses, and then he goes, "I don't know, and I don't really care."
Yeah.
That
Sorry,
was
give me 1
just
second.
stellar. I thought that was a fantastic answer, and that I think that. Oh, hang on, Steve's getting his sandwich.
Sorry. No, sorry, Tristan needed a ride, but he said he'd just get an Uber.
We were just talking about how unprofessional you are, Steve. Get your head in the game. Anyway,
I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich right now, James. I haven't even taken a bite yet. I'm gonna do it now while you're talking.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that it's such an amazing thing that Willie Nelson, who's not traditionally a jazz artist, can kind of fit under that umbrella, even though he's got his own kind of feel and style and voice. I haven't listened to the album yet. I'm not sure how close it is to traditional jazz, but I would assume that he's still kind of got his own kind of vibe in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, for sure.
It's very like, It's very Willie Nelson, but it's also like, yeah, it's got that kind of like lounge jazz feel to it.
That's
But
what
you're sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's what I kind of always loved about this styles. Especially like I love pretty much every genre of music. There's very few that I don't like pretty regularly listen to. But I
Name
think,
them right now.
oh no,
What music do you hate, James?
I don't need people throwing grenades at my door.
Yeah.
No, but I do I think probably it comes from that like slum ghetto African American culture of just beggars can't be choosers. You just have to do whatever you can and kind of accept everything. I think that maybe plays into the idea that jazz has so many like things under its umbrella, like bossa nova. People ask me, is bossa nova jazz, and if so, how? And I don't have an answer. But the only thing I could say is, well, Wayne Shorter played it, so it's jazz.
Yeah, there you
I don't
go.
know what else to say it, but I think it's really cool to me that Willie Nelson could in the '70s when he was in the height of his career. Well, probably not the height, but when he was like in his career as not a jazz musician, could just drop a jazz album.
It was in '78. Like,
yeah, I think that's just an amazing thing. That's really cool. I gotta check this album out tonight.
You do. I really like it. I think it's like a really nice like relaxation album. Like I said, for a while my like tradition on like Sundays is like I would wake up early in the morning, which you shouldn't do on a Sunday, but I would do it because I would like make myself just a big meal, like a nice like breakfast, and I would listen to this album while I made it, and then I would just sit there and I would drink coffee and I would like kind of just relax. It's like a really good album for doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially Sunny Side of the Street's a great tune to just like.
So good.
But a little off topic, but I remember once
go ahead.
I was really getting into Chet Baker,
Mm.
the great jazz trumpet player.
Chet's great, yeah.
Chet's amazing, and I don't want to give any names here, but I was kind of I was like maybe gonna go start dating somebody, and then it fizzled out like kind of around a certain time, and then I was like, this kind of bites, so I'm gonna go throw on like just some YouTube playlist, and of course thanks to my YouTube algorithm, I'm just like, man, heartbreak sucks. I need to get my mind off of it. And then I hit play, and it's just friends, lovers no more. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Really?
Come on, Chet. What are you doing?
Chet, please. I love you, but not now, okay?
He's got... Oh, his voice really fits that, like, sad style of jazz, though. Like, fucking... what is the song that I'm thinking of? It's... There's Just Friends, and then My Funny Valentine Heart is great for him. My Foolish Heart. Yeah. Chet... I don't know. Chet Baker sings, obviously, is just, like, great. Like...
album. But,
sorry, RJ, we're totally nerding out about the jazz here, man. Like,
I think one of my funniest stories that involves Chet Baker. I didn't meet him; he passed away long before I was born. But so I went over to a classmate of ours, named Jackson. I won't say his last name, but his name is Jackson.
I'm familiar.
Steve knows what's up.
Yeah,
and so I was just getting into Chet Baker, and just because of the way so many jazz musicians passed away. I said, like, so Chet Baker probably died of like accidental heroin overdose, right? And Jackson looked at me and he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. If by heroin overdose you mean fell out of a window.
Fell out of a window.
And then he says, and by accidentally you mean extremely on purpose, then yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, oh, man.
I didn't know that last part. Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, he committed suicide. Yeah, that makes this music so much like darker to listen to. You listen to Just Friends now, Steve, and let me know what you think.
Damn, I didn't know that, because actually I just looked that up like recently because for whatever reason I was looking up Chet Baker, just Googling him, I guess. And then and like a bunch of things were like, what actually happened to Chet Baker? And then I just saw something about him falling out a window and I was like, damn, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. Way to bring it down, James.
Well, to be fair, I've never looked it up. Only like I was told it was a suicide, and I just kind of believe it.
I mean, I would believe Jackson. He seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's a pretty knowledgeable dude. But yeah, sorry to ruin your.
No, dude.
But anyone listening, if you never checked out like jazz before, Chet Baker might be an interesting place to start. I think it's the best one, but an interesting one.
I mean, I remember. I don't know what your relationship with jazz was like before McEwen, James, but I didn't really have much of one with it. Really, like, I had listened to like a little bit of like stuff, like modern stuff. Just like I put on like a jazz playlist on Apple Music, and I was like, let's listen to whatever comes up. And I was like, I guess this is what jazz is, not knowing like any of like the actual roots, like Miles Davis or anything like that. Like,
Right.
and that's what so when I was looking at like audition pieces to get into McEwen, because I'd listened like Sinatra basically, and I was like, yeah, that's what jazz is, right? I went and I looked up like a bunch of the standards, and I just put them all in a playlist on Spotify. And I think the first like jazz song on that playlist was Chet Baker, Autumn Leaves.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I was actually talking to somebody about this. Sorry, man, we're totally geeking out about jazz still.
No, that's fine. I love it.
I just found because for me, I came to music. My parents were not musicians, right? So I'm the only one in the who really does it. My uncle plays drums,
Same.
but he lives in the States, so I don't really talk to him about drums very much. But I do remember listening to free jazz when I was younger, and I just thought like this is just
Really?
random nonsense. Like this is just like these guys are just like going up there playing like whatever they feel like and then getting paid for it. I was like, this is BS. But then I realized like, oh no, like after I kind of did my first couple years of education and really got into the academic side of things, I realized, oh no, that's not what it is. Jazz has certain rules and a culture and like just it's expected to do certain things, and
100%. Yeah.
free jazz is a conscious rejection of those
Of
rules.
those,
There's still
exactly.
a lot of intelligence on display here. It's just not the way it's traditionally shown. And I think some people maybe come to jazz, with that mentality. No disrespect to anyone, but let's say like a rock guitarist who's never really heard jazz before. They're really into, I don't know, Linkin Park or maybe more classic. Like
What are rock guys into nowadays?
Yeah, who knows? Or let's say like, I don't know, Monster Truck maybe, or I swear I know rock.
I've never even heard of.
I swear I know rock bands. I just can't think of any now that I'm on.
Royal Blood.
Royal Blood, yeah, great one.
Great
But like
band.
I think sometimes they hear jazz music and often are like, oh, this is kind of lame, like it's just kind of really soft and sweet, and their whole improv thing doesn't make any sense, and then they play ahead and they improvise and they play ahead. I like that's kind of lame, and from their perspective, it is really lame. Like if you check out what they're doing in there, the sphere of knowledge that would kind of come with an life experience as a rock guitarist. This would seem pretty stupid, but I think the beauty of music or any art form really is to sort of go and try something new and understand a new genre, and that it has its own rules and its own history and its own way of doing things, and you start to see like, oh, you know what, this is actually really fascinating. For me, that was oh boy, I don't want to say, I don't want to make any enemies. For me, that was like, I don't know, I learned bossa nova and I learned mambo and I learned samba, and I was like, that's it, right? Like that's all the Brazilian stuff. Like, do I need to learn anymore? Like, really? Like, I know for the longest time I would just do one of those 3 grooves on any Latin music that I heard.
James,
I really hope that I know. I'm not like that anymore.
Of course you wouldn't get away with that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no,
Rubble would just skin you alive.
Yeah, I'd be murdered by the head of bass over there at McEwen. He would have horrible things to say to me, and I would deserve
Absolutely.
them. But after a while, same thing. I just got really into understanding that no. Every single region of Latin America has its own culture and its own history and its own experience with colonization, for example, that changed its whole perspective on music and everything. And then I realized, like, oh man, I'm a stupid guy.
Dude, even to the point that like Ruben would talk about this a lot in masterclass first year, like when we were learning about like samba, he said that like even if you just go to like, I don't know, somewhere in Brazil and you just go to 2 different neighborhoods, what they call samba could be completely different. Like,
oh yeah,
it's wild. Like that type of music, like Latin music in general. Latin is such a huge umbrella for like so many different distinct types of music, and they're all amazing. Like I'm not as in. I need to get back into that stuff, but like I listen to like a little bit of like Buena Vista Social Club, who I'm sure you're familiar with, right?
Yeah. They're killer.
Fantastic. But apparently, like every single person in that band, like Ruben again told me this, they each like got a record deal like separately to like put a band together and make like an album each. And the bass player Orlando Cachito Lopez, I believe is his name. Definitely not correct pronunciation. I just anglicized the fuck out of it. But his album is amazing. It's really, really good. It's like, it's this weird mix of like, it's this like, it's I think it's called Songo is I believe is what you could call that. It's like a modern form of like Latin, like Cuban music. But he's got this one, I don't know, I would just say check out the album. It's called I think the album is just called Cachayito. It's really good. It's from 2001. But he's got this one tune where he like, it's called Tumbao number 5 para Charlie Mingus, and what he does, he's playing like a tumbao, and which is like a form of like Cuban rhythm, for everyone who doesn't know. And it's just like this really, really cool song. And then he starts going like, which I'm sure you know, James, is Haitian Fight Song by Charles Mingus, which is my favorite Mingus tune. So like when I was listening to this and that happened, I was like, oh, like I was just losing it, man. It's so cool, man. Music is so fucking awesome. Like,
yeah, like you know, like I remember getting into music when I was like 15 was the age that I got into drums. I was like super into like I wanted to play swing, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that was my thing. Because I thought jazz was cool at a young age. Like I liked the swing feel. I mean, I listened to lots of music when I was a kid. My dad's kind of a what's it called, audiophile. He has a very eclectic music taste. So I was really into U2 and like Deep Purple, but I also got into like Ray Charles and those kinds of guys.
Oh yeah.
And so I wanted to play swing, and I realized when I was 15 that I kind of had like no skills like that are very interesting. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get good at drums. And then before I knew it, I was like pretty good. Like I was like, maybe I kind of want to go professional, and now I'm in music school. But
yeah,
I remember
now you like are a professional drummer.
I mean, like semi-professional. I can't quit my normal job. One day.
Yeah,
but
not yet. Once Noise Pending starts getting more streams.
Yeah, which is on all of you viewers out there. You should check that out. But
highly recommend.
Songo does fall under the Afro-Cuban
umbrella.
And just the fact that exists, Afro-Cuban is an entire like genre of like subgenre of Latin. Just the marriage of African and like Latin, specifically Cuban. Probably, I think I'm gonna guess it started with percussion.
Oh, definitely.
Both such percussive like cultures. That's my honest belief. They probably did, and then some rhythms and probably gave birth to melodies and different types of chord structures and stuff like that. But I like to think every now and again. I like to think like, okay, I'm imagine if you were like an African person who just like washed up on the shores of Cuba on purpose or by accident, and like knowing your culture of drumming, West African drumming, which by the way gave birth to the blues, which gave birth to all current contemporary music.
Yep.
Just imagine seeing like a Brazilian like drum line for the first time, like their whole culture, like seeing someone play congas, like, you know, if you brought your djembe and then you see this like pro Cuban percussionist with like some congas and like timbales, or like playing a cascara or something, like anything, you'll like, you probably jump right on in there. And like the marriage of those two, if you take the time to study some African percussion especially and Latin percussion, like it just makes so much sense that they created a genre together. But it's a really amazing that they did. Again, we're totally like just nerding out, but
yeah.
No, I think it's sick because like jazz is something that I've always enjoyed. Every bit of jazz and just stuff like that, and like Latin music, it's all stuff I've always enjoyed every time I heard it, but have never really like went out and seeked on my own that much.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And yeah, I think that's gonna be my next like mission, is just I want to get really into jazz.
I can send you some albums, man.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
I find like It's not your fault at all. I mean, like jazz kind of went out of fashion with the coming of rock and stuff, which is fine. You know, music genres come and go like that. But I think there was maybe a bit of a resurgence. I credit the two films, Whiplash and La La Land.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think Whiplash has my least favorite jazz scene, and La La Land has my favorite jazz scene.
That's interesting. I feel like that's the opposite from what I've heard from most. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm talking to the wrong people at McEwen, but it seems like people at McEwen seem to hate La La Land. And then I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Whiplash, other than like he says some like goofy stuff at some points. Like J.K. Simmons, I think he refers to like the set list as a playlist or something, which is weird.
Yeah,
but...
he also looks at a trumpet section and tells them to sharpen the ninth, which is weird. Like you wouldn't tell that to someone who doesn't play chords. But
yeah, that's what.
like if you tell that to a trumpet player who's playing
like one guy,
ninth,
yeah, it's like, hey, play a sharp nine.
Yeah, hey, you specifically play a sharp. But even then, like you probably would have told him that weeks ago, and he just would have penciled it in.
It would have been on the sheet music.
Anyway, but no, I love both movies. I think they're both really great. I think I like Whiplash a little bit more. That's purely personal, though. The reason I say what I said earlier is because Whiplash has a scene where J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, so Terrence Fletcher and Andrew Newman, sit down in a cafe, and they just talk about why, Terrence is the way he is. And it's because he believes deep down that there is no such thing as like a current great jazz player. And, that's his goal as a teacher, is to make the next one. And that this kind of vanilla Starbucks jazz is, plaguing the world because that's what people think jazz is.
Totally.
On one level, I kind of agree with him in that there is some misconceptions as to what, jazz is.
That's kind of like, I think I know exactly what you're about to talk about with La La Land then. Are you going to talk about the scene where he takes her to like the jazz show and talks about that exact thing?
Because I think the beauty of it is Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, neither one of them is portrayed as... So for those of you who maybe haven't seen the movie, in La La Land, on the other hand, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, I don't remember their characters' names, they go to...
Seb and Mia, I want to say.
I think you're right. So Seb and Mia wants to be an actress, and Seb wants to open a jazz club and just play jazz because he doesn't get that opportunity a lot in California, which is insane, but not a worry. But he takes Mia to a jazz club, and they're like kind of the romance is budding, and she likes the music. She's kind of like, oh, this is cool, but doesn't have quite the passion for it that Ryan Gosling's character does. And then Ryan is trying to tell her like, oh, this is what's happening. The trumpet solo is improvising, and everyone else is kind of responding, and everyone's idea is
I love that scene where he's developed. Like, because it's true. Like I feel like a lot of people who aren't into jazz, if you brought them to a jazz show and were like, all right, check this out, I feel like just the energy of it would make you love it.
Oh yeah, you got to show people live stuff first. But what I love about that scene, it really takes it to another level, is Emma Stone responds very like a normal person would. That she says, "What about the jazz I know?"
Like Kenny G.
Like Kenny G, or or just background music that we just put on and everybody just kind of talks over it. And then Ryan says, "Well, what about it?" And they kind of talk about it a little bit. And I think I love that the movie included that because she's right, that jazz does exist, and that is a function that jazz serves sometimes, and sometimes people only know it as that. They're both correct. Jazz can be both of those things, and I was really happy to see kind of such a positive take on jazz can be all sorts of it is elevated music, it's talking over music, it's date night music, it's whatever, but it's also like an art form full of passion and history and love and care. And we kind of get both sides of that dichotomy in that one scene, which I just thought was amazing. I wasn't expecting to see that in that movie at all, but I did.
Yeah.
I was very happy coming out of the theater.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like I love that scene. I really like that movie.
The one issue I have, though, is when he says, like, jazz actually came from, like, an apartment building when, like...
Flophouse.
These guys, this flophouse where these people weren't able to communicate, so they just play instruments at it. That didn't happen. Yeah, that is, as far as I'm aware, just, like, a random thing that they made up for the movie. Not a thing. I mean, like, it's a cool legend, I guess. Like, if you want to talk about, like, oh, yeah, the legend of jazz in this flophouse. Old folks say, but, like, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's like an old wives' tale.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. I was happy to see that in that movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
RJ, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should take a listen to the first song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I guess second song if you count the intro.
We've kind of been like talking a ton about jazz and stuff like that here, but yeah, we also did have James on here because
we want to talk
his
about
band,
Noise Pending.
Yeah, Noise Pending just recently put out a second EP, which is fantastic.
Yep, loved it.
It's both of them are fantastic. So speaking of which song are we playing? Is this what did we say was queued up next? I definitely should have known that.
Do you want to do Coastal Service?
Yeah, there you go. Coastal Service is off of the first EP, Intro Side A, right?
Yeah, Intro Side A. But by the way, guys, I know we just spent like a long time talking about jazz, but this is not jazz.
Yeah, no, this is not jazz.
All right, let's give it a listen.
Yeah, I love that tune, man. That's
Yeah,
the
I like that
opening
one a
track
lot.
off of the first EP, right?
Yeah, that was from our first EP. It was written by our piano player and one of our producers, Gabriel Pashik. He's a fantastic member of the band.
Yeah,
And
Gabe just kills it on the keys on that song, man. Like,
yeah, sometimes I feel like he doesn't know how good he is. Like every now and again, he'll be like, "Was that okay?" And you're like, "Yes, Gabe, that
it's
was very
amazing.
dope."
Yeah, you're blowing my mind right now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no,
It's
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just say it's such a pleasure working with. Just a little rundown. I'm James Kumaran. I'm the drummer and band leader of Noise Pending. I say band leader loosely. I mean, mostly I just say ideas and they're stupid, so we don't use them. But whatever. Yeah. So what happened was I was listening to a lot of lo-fi, and I kind of asked Gabriel Pashchik, Riley Peters, our guitarist, another producer and a great guy and songwriter, as well as Evan Click, another great songwriter. Evan and I can't do any recording or production at all. Do you guys want to do a lo-fi band with me? And they all said, "Yeah, man, let's do it. I'd love to do that." So we kind of got together at some rehearsals, and Gabe had already been working on some lo-fi stuff, and he showed us like some
Yeah,
chords
is
and
that
melodies.
Sync Zephyr?
Sync Zephyr, yeah, you should absolutely check out Sync Zephyr. And like he was just showing us the stuff that he like. I'm not sure if he just never got around to it, or if he decided it wasn't quite what he wanted Sync Zephyr's brand to be, or if he was just like, "This isn't good enough. I'll toss it to Noise Pending." But yeah, he showed us what is now Coastal Service. Like I guess it was always Coastal Service, and had a kind of a different vibe, a bit more of an electronic vibe. We came in with a full drum set and like a amped bass and guitar, and that sort of changed things. It kind of put a little more energy to it. So at first we were a little like, "Oh man, this isn't lo-fi," and then I don't know who it was, but someone floated the idea of like maybe let's lean into that. We can
Yeah.
have that lo-fi feel, but just a bit more juice. So we came up. Gabe told me that the genre that we were playing is called psychedelic funk.
Okay, interesting. See, I was about to ask like what you guys define yourselves as, because I was kind of thinking about that when I was first telling like RJ about Noise Pending. I was kind of like, well, what do I tell them that what genre is this? I was like, I don't know, just listen to it. It's fucking cool. Like,
yeah, I don't blame you because people asked me, and for the longest time I was like, I don't know, it's chill, just listen.
dude, I feel that that's the worst. I feel like when someone's like, so what genre is your band? And you're like, come to our show, okay? Just pull up.
It's a good time, is what it is. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But we actually kind of have a rule. So generally, not for every song, but generally, our kind of vibe is you should be able to get like just baked this tune.
Dude, that's exactly what I did when I listened to the songs, bro.
Oh, perfect. I mean, like,
it works out.
Just so we're clear, weed is legal here in Canada. So for you, Americans,
sure is.
It's recreationally legal in New York. I'm set.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah. For any of you American viewers who get in trouble with drugs, don't go blaming me. It wasn't me, but
actually, James's email, I'll give it to you guys so you can just specifically get mad.
You can forward your lawyer bill to him
and his home address. I know where he lives. I've seen the building.
Yeah, he knows where I live. But yeah, I mean, thanks. I'm really happy you guys enjoyed it.
Totally,
definitely.
So, do you want to talk about like how Noise Pending came to be? You kind of talked about it a little bit there with like Gabe being like, "Hey, this is a song that I had before," but what made you like choose this lineup? Like, and how did you like? I don't know. How did that come about?
Like, choose the members of the band?
Yeah, I guess because I mean, I know you and Evan play together in like all the time, and it's great watch. Oh, actually, I just last weekend I saw them play together at the Drum Coffee House. It was fantastic, by the way. You guys killed it.
Oh,
super
thank you
cool.
so much, Steve.
Actually, sorry. Before we get like super into the Noise Pending thing, I also want to talk about the other thing that I saw that same day. James, did you catch any of the performance right before that? What's his name? It was Farhad Khosravi, I think. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. But he was like, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, he was absolutely outstanding.
Oh my god, amazing, right?
I wasn't able to catch. I had to do some stuff for the coffee house, so I had to go buy some things, namely a new camera battery. But I was able to like kind of listen from outside the theater, and oh my gosh, man, they were just. I was sitting there like, man, I have to perform in this theater an hour after.
Right after this, yeah.
Are you crazy?
But yeah, it was crazy. I would say just want to give a quick recommendation for that if you guys I guess that'd be like Iranian music, right? Is that he's a Sun tour player. But his album. What's it called? Fuck, what did he call it? It's really really good. I think Mosifer is the one I'm thinking of, but go check that out. He's amazing. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Back to Noise Pending though. Yeah, so like I'm assuming you were just like, all right, Evan is like my go-to bass player. He's gonna be in the band, and then Gabe was already kind of doing the lo-fi thing. So is that why like because you were like, I want to do a lo-fi band. These are the people to do it with, like.
Well, kind of. So, first of all, you absolutely are correct in plugging that other band, and I'm honored that I got plugged in the same breath as those guys. Big thanks, Steve. I'm actually feeling great about that.
Totally, man.
But yeah. So when I formed a few bands, there was Midnight Arrival.
Midnight Arrival, also fantastic.
Thank you very much. There's the New King Trio that I do my jazz stuff in.
Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten a chance to see you guys yet, but I also am sure absolutely fantastic. Evan's in that one too, right?
Evan is in that. I'm sorry, Steve. That was really funny. It's like Noise Pending. Steve's like, oh, dope. It's like Midnight Arrival. Oh yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, Moo King Trio. Yeah, they're probably cool, I guess.
You should check us out. We play a cafe here like once or twice a month.
Yeah, I remember you told me about it. I had to miss it the last time it happened. I had something else going on, but next time I'll stop by. I'll grab a coffee and listen to you guys because I would love to. I mean, that's with Jackson and Evan, right? Like who are also fantastic musicians, and I would, absolutely.
It's a great vibe, and I mean, for those of you who don't know, Steve is kind of Mr. Popular, so trying to get him to play is just super hard. But yeah, so I kind of decided I wanted Noise Pending to be like lo-fi, not only in the music we play, but in the vibe of its rehearsals, of its outlook, of its
that makes sense.
Of its mission statement, if that makes sense.
Totally,
I just wanted it to be like that kind of vibe. So I was sitting there and I thought, like, okay, I don't really want to do a vocalist because I don't know, I just didn't really want to do vocal kind of music for this particular experiment. We figured if we want to do tunes with a vocalist, then we could get one for those tunes, but that's just not the vibe we were going for, if it made sense.
Yeah, and I feel like it doesn't like need it. Listening to Noise Pending, I'm never like, man, it'd be nice if there was some words over this. Like, I feel like it's a complete product without it, even. Like,
yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we do try, but I think eventually we do want to get like some vocal stuff on or like some horn playing over. But
that'd be cool.
Posted.
Yeah,
but so we were so I was kind of sitting. I was in the back of my friend's car as I sort of hatched this idea, and he lives very far from me, so it was like a 25-minute drive. So this all happened in 25 minutes. So I was like, okay, who do I want in this band? So I thought of Gabe because, firstly, I really like Gabe. The year before, sorry, this is over summer when I was thinking of this. And kind of the year before, Gabe and I had started, like, not hanging out, but just, like, talking a lot more. I would, like, see him more. I guess we did hang a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I would love to be like better friends with Gabe and like continue that avenue of friendship. I love Gabe deeply. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I'll ask Gabe. And then as I sent the text, I was like, oh, and he syncs Zephyr. Like, awesome. Like,
so that wasn't even that's funny. I would have assumed from like being like, yeah, lo-fi band. It's like, well, this guy who already makes lo-fi music, I'll get him.
Yeah.
That's funny, that's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky with that one, I guess. I think another part of it, I might have been thinking of it like subconsciously or something, but I did have it in mind that Gabe is a great like producer and he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make some great music. But I was like, oh man, yeah, Gabe. Yeah, perfect fit. And then I thought of Evan. I had some debate. Evan, if you're listening to this, I love you, and I did. But I had some debate because I do really like working with Evan, but I work with him a lot, and I was like, well, I think maybe because Evan has kind of mentioned that he, works with me a lot, and we were both like, we should maybe, see other people, open this relationship up.
Open up a bit, yeah. Dude, okay, sorry, real quick, I just want to touch on that for a second. I'm in a couple bands with this guy, like Zach Hassan. Great guy. He's like my go-to guitarist. But he's not the only guitar player that I work with. And it was funny. The other night he was talking about how he's like, yeah, I kind of want to, like, maybe I shouldn't talk about this on the air because he hasn't done it yet, but I'm sure it's fine. I just won't name any specific names. But he's like, yeah, I've kind of been thinking about like trying to like form like a super group band. And I was just like, okay, I understand if I don't get the call
Yeah.
for playing bass on that one, and it was kind of one of those things where it's just like, damn, like he's my go-to guitar player, but like,
Am I not his go-to bassist?
am I not his go-to bassist? Are we not playing together in every band? But I think that's fine, and I think that's good, honestly, because like I think it's good to work with other people. I think it brings out other sides of you creatively. Like,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
just real quick,
Like,
just major shout out to Ethan Flagg. I was in sort of a band with him like first year. No, not sort of a band. We were a band. We just didn't have a name. Like a little bit of first and second year. And I always found that like the stuff that he played was so different from the stuff that Zach does, like just compositionally, just like style wise. And it kind of made me have to think outside the box and like kind of be a more interesting bass player. But anyway, back to what you were saying about Evan.
well, yeah, I've just worked with Evan many times, and I was a little unsure, and then I kind of was thinking, okay, who else could I ask? And I thought, like, okay, these people, like, are potential list. And the reason I got to Evan is I just kind of wound up crossing off names of, like, maybe I don't really like this person all that much, like, and then
Okay, I understand. I get it, James.
that was
Well,
Steve,
you're
by the
not
way.
professional, Steve. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you show
sorry.
up with like a sandwich and like a microphone at our rehearsal, and you're like, "Hang on, guys, while we do this rehearsal, can I just do my ASMR?" Like, at the we're like, "Steve,
Gotta
come on."
squeeze it in the schedule.
But yeah, so I was, I kind of crossed people off because I was like, "Okay, I love this person, but I know they're already in like 4 bands. I need somebody who's like maybe a little bit more available." You know, I get that we're all busy, and like you can't make this a priority all the time, and that's the true with the current noise pending players, but you know, like we're free enough that like this can take up a chunk of our time for sure. So you know, just various reasons. So like sometimes professional, sometimes personal. It's like, okay, well, I think I'm just back to Evan here, which is great. You know, I love working with Evan, and
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
it's absolutely like not like no skin off my back. If you end up with Evan, that's not a bad thing. Like that's
Yeah,
a dope
totally.
thing. So I was like, great. I'm guess I'm with Evan again. I'm sure you know he'd be very excited because I know Evan loves dope music, and I think Evan trusts me that when I form bands, he I think he knows that it'll be at least pretty okay.
Yeah.
So I messaged him, and he kind of had a couple questions like, oh, what's the style? You know, who else is in it? And then told him like, you know, that Gabe's in it so far, and I want to do a kind of lo-fi vibe. And he said, I just got into lo-fi actually, and I've been wanting to play some like.
There you go, man.
Got
It all
lucky.
just
I got
lined
lucky
up
twice.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Riley Peters is the person I asked because similar sort of vibe. I was thinking I at the time I didn't know a lot of guitarists that I felt had quite the skill set I was looking for.
Mhm.
You know, like I found like, you know, no offense to anybody, but
Of course, yeah.
there are different guitarists, and like some people wanted to do like really just were interested in country or like neo soul or
Yeah.
something.
Neo
And
soul seems to be a big thing like right now. I don't know.
absolutely, and it does have a lot of connective tissue with kind of lo-fi vibes,
Mhm.
kind of with that cleaner guitar tone and that whole vibe. But I did kind of think like, okay, well, I just did the same thing. I kind of made a list of guitarists, and I was like, okay, well, him I don't like, you know, her I don't like either. I don't know. I don't really remember who I had on that list, so I'm just saying him and her arbitrarily. But you know, the people like same thing. Like this person's too busy. You know, this person's kind of a jerk. This person I have worked with them before and they were never on time. This person da da da.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I again remember that the sort of whole point of this is to have a good time. I want this to be a good vibe. You know, we could feasibly hang out for drinks for like 2 hours after a 2 hour rehearsal with like not having an issue with each other at the time. So luckily the year before, remember because I was making this band over the summer, I was lucky enough to be in a really great combo. For those of you who maybe don't know, one of the classes Steve and I take is called performance ensemble, in which like the school just basically puts you're assigned kind of randomly into like a band, and you have to play, you know, certain styles of music that meet certain requirements. Yada da da da. It teaches you how to deal with different types of people in different situations, essentially. But I was lucky enough to be in a very good one with Gabe, as well as a guitarist named Riley Peters. And I just noticed Riley kind of came in with a certain sense of optimism every day. He came in prepared. He never, you know, and he never talked down to anybody. Which I've been in a few bands where there's been a lot of ego or a lot of dislike between two members, or
Yeah.
I was once hired by a husband and wife team who were really amazing and taught me a lot about music, and then I was hired by a different couple who were like constantly fighting in our rehearsals,
Yeah.
and then they broke up 2 weeks after the gig, and I was like, oh man, gotta be
That's
careful
rough.
with who you pick, eh? Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
So I absolutely was like, hey, we need to make sure that this vibe is good, and Riley, I thought absolutely fit the vibe.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
It was an extra bonus because Riley was a composition major and then like became
Switched to
a
recording,
major.
yeah.
So I was like, well, that's amazing, because Evan was a comp major and switched to performance, and Gabe is a recording major who composes a lot, and I'm just a performance major. Pretty lame. Lamest member of the band, I gotta say, is me.
Well,
but
you gotta give yourself some credit. You played one of your compositions at the Drum Coffee House, didn't you?
I played two, actually, yeah.
Yeah. There's the Icarus one. I remember being like, "Damn, that was really cool."
Oh, thanks, man.
The other one, I guess it didn't leave an impression. So get better, James.
It was the Jazz Waltz.
Right.
Amelia.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because it was based off of Emily. Right. Was that what you said?
Emily by Bill Evans. Yeah.
Okay. See, I remembered it now. Sorry. I realized I didn't remember it and I panicked. So I was like, oh, I'll make a joke out of this.
No worries. No, it's super chill. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I do compose a little, but not nearly as much as these guys do, and I was really happy to sort of like work with them on some stuff, and they always have some interesting ideas as to where we can go, which is why I love our rehearsals with them. Like, and I also, sorry, I'm kind of going on tangents as to why.
No, man, go ahead.
I'm definitely not doing this for brownie points, future noise. But I love that, one of us can walk in and just be like, guys, crazy idea. It's usually me. I have like whack ideas that they just kind of let me say. Like, guys, crazy idea. What if we did this like nonsense thing? And even if it's kind of nonsense, they'll actually like play with it. They'll come at it from different angles. They'll be like, oh, we could do this, or maybe this, or like we could try this, and then da 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 da.
They don't completely discredit it.
Absolutely, which I've been in bands that do that, and it sucks. But so every now and again we'll have a crazy idea, and we'll actually come up with a way as how we can pull it off and make it real, make it a reality, which is just great. I absolutely love that vibe, that situation, and there's not a lot of no. We don't say the word no a lot in noise pending rehearsals, which is great. I love that vibe. Steve and I, we're not in a band per se, but we get together on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And we have a little jam session, and
it's
that
a
was
lot
sort
of fun.
I love doing that with another guitarist named Ben Bourget, and
it was unfortunately the worst. Yeah.
Horrible human being.
And
no, we love Ben. we love Ben, but that's kind of like the vibes. If that makes sense, it's just like chill vibe, hanging out, jamming.
Well, I watched your guys' stream of the noise pending practice. I think it was Wednesday night, actually. Because I was doing my homework, my theory homework, and I was just like pounding my head against the wall, and I was like, "Oh, noise pending is streaming, cool. I'll listen to their thing." And you guys played a new tune that isn't on either of the EPs yet, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is exclusive! Nice, I'm getting like, that's cool."
Yeah, you got one of the. I think 6 people watched that stream, which is 5 more than last time. So
I was one of the 6. There you go.
Yeah, one of the 6. So you got to. You're one of the 6 people in the world that is not a noise pending member and knows one of our new songs.
Woohoo! An exclusive club. But yeah, it seemed like a really good like vibe. Even just watching you guys practice, like you said, it just seemed like very like, I don't know, supportive and fun. Like you guys were just having a good time with it and making good music. Which I feel like that's kind of how you make good music, is you know.
I agree, and that's not to say, just so like, Dane, Jackson, Dion, if Tillman, if you're listening to this from the Moo King Trio or Midnight Arrival, I still love the vibe in Midnight Arrival and Moo King Trio as well. But those vibes are like awesome. They're great. They're just a little different. This one is specifically catered to being as chill as possible.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense with the type of music you guys are making, right? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
And speaking of which, the type of music you guys are making, let's take a listen to the last song.
Off of the new album, or I guess new EP, Intro Side B.
Yeah.
This is Mara, right? James, do you want to talk a little bit about this before we play it, or do you want to just play it and then we can?
I'll stay a little bit right now. So Mara is, I think, like the Aztec god of death. Riley was telling me. Riley, our guitarist, he wrote this one.
Okay.
And it's just kind of another funky jam. It's kind of in the same vein as Coastal Service. But you'll notice that Beach Town, the song that we played at the beginning, is not. And the last song in the EP, it's a 4-song EP, is also very much. It's not like any of the other tunes that you would have heard here today. So you should definitely check it out. It'll surprise you, I'm sure. Intro side A, intro side B. We had some recording issues, so we had to make our 4-song EP into two-song EPs.
I was wondering why that was a choice. I mean, I think it's cool though. Like intro side A, side B. It also kind of kept people waiting, but
yeah, I think the name intro side A, intro side B was Gabe's idea, and I thought it was brilliant. I was like, that's so cool. I really like that name.
Yeah, I think that's really dope. I was on the stream. I was like, when you guys played that new tune, I was like, oh, is this going on intro side C now?
But, let's go all the way down the.
You got a triangle record.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, James. Were you finished or?
Yeah, no, I'm all done.
All right, let's check out the tune then, and then we can talk a little more about it.
Do it.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, yeah, thanks.
I love that song. I love all the songs off the EP.
Yeah, you guys should. Thanks so much. I'm really happy you guys like them. But RJ, I think you can tell them that RRT, the last tune, is very not
Yeah,
like the other ones.
yeah. It's very
Oh,
different.
yeah.
I think that might be my favorite.
ROT, Riley's Rockin' Tune.
Rock out tune, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is something. Yeah,
Yep.
it is dope. Yeah, you guys.
That
should
one's
check it out.
fantastic too. Yeah, yeah. I guess it goes without saying. Yeah, like I guess that. Oh, that would be the only one that they haven't heard yet from listening to this episode.
You
But
guys have heard 75% of the album already.
but yeah, go stream Noise Pending. Go listen to them right
Yeah,
now.
the
You
link will
won't
be
regret
in the
it.
comments. I guess they
Yeah, in the
stream. I
description,
didn't know
whatever,
that.
yeah.
Steve never told me that. Shame on
Well,
you,
I don't
Steve.
know how often you guys stream because.
Well,
sorry.
like us and Noise Pending.
Yeah, Noise Pending. Yeah.
Oh, that was like we
Or
were
wait,
in,
RJ, were you talking about me and James?
Oh, I'm sorry. I know one of you guys said something about streaming. I might have got lost.
Oh,
Oh,
we
okay.
both. Okay, yeah. So Steve and I get together every Wednesday, and then we
Yeah.
just stream like a jam with like. So what happens is Steve and another guitarist Ben, we're like a little trio, and every week we invite like a guest singer or guitarist to come and just play a couple tunes with us, and we stream it. Super low cash, a lot of mistakes. I think the last we
Yeah.
were on Leave On, and there was like some pretty hilarious mistakes. We left it up just for the fun of it. And then, other than that, like last Thursday, we had our rehearsal of Noise Pending, and I was like, "Hey guys, you want to stream this rehearsal just for fun?"
Okay.
And then they all kind of looked at me, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do it. That sounds great. Let's just yeah, absolutely." So, like I said, it's a very yes band. So we streamed it, and 6 whole people watched. It was awesome.
You gonna is Noise Pending gonna stream more?
I think so. I think we kind of like that vibe. I'm not sure when or how often because we don't practice weekly. But I do think there is going to be a bit of a vibe of that kind of stream thing. I think the only reason we wouldn't is if we have some new material that we don't want out yet.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But oh yeah, no, you're right, Steve. It was Thursday, and that sorry, Wednesday. Now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah, I think we will do it some more though. I'm happy with that presence. It was kind of funny though because Noise Pending streamed it from the official Noise Pending account as well as my personal account.
As your personal, yeah.
And just nobody watched the Noise Pending one. Like I think people were watching mine, but no one tuned into the NP one. So if you guys feel like following us, we're just noise.pending. On Instagram, you should definitely check out our streams. We got some cool vibes going on in those rehearsals, and we love to hear some audience input. If you guys hear a tune and you want to say like, "Hey, get some horn on that" or something, and we'll definitely take it into consideration. Go for it.
Yeah.
Nice,
And
man.
we'll
That's
definitely
awesome.
put the Instagram down in the description.
Yeah, everything.
Much, yeah.
I guess should we wrap it up? James, do you have anything you want to plug like before we finish up here?
Well, I sure as heck do. Hang on. Let me grab my calendar. I got all the stuff.
All right. Well, while James is doing that, I'll just say again: stream Noise Pending on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever I guess you listen to music. It's probably there. And also, by the time that this is up, I guess this will probably be out. But I was in a music video for this local Edmonton band called All Was Lost. I was one of the 2 actors in it, and that should be up by the time this comes out, I'm assuming. But go watch that. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to be in. I look sad into the distance a bunch, and they filmed it.
I'm excited to see handsome Steve in a music video.
Yeah, it was a fun time. And then also, I guess, if anyone who's listening to this is from Edmonton, Friday the 22nd, my band is Misfortune Tellers. We're playing our first show at the Naked Cafe in Edmonton. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Show up and we'll rock your face off or something.
I don't know. I mean, Steve, if you're the bassist, I don't really know if
I'm not the bassist actually.
Oh, really?
There you go. I'm singing and playing guitar in it. So.
Oh, now I want to go even less. No, I'm kidding. I'll definitely be there. Yeah. No, I'll for sure.
It's it's pretty close to you. You can walk there from your place. So.
I'll be there. I promise I'll be there.
So you guys start playing at what time? You said.
The ad says 7, but I think we're probably going to be closer to like 7:15, 7:30 probably. We probably won't start right at 7, but we'll see. I guess.
Now, what's going to be the start time after you have to go get your sandwich?
Yeah, there's no Subway clear close to there. Oh,
There's
by the
Denny's
way,
right next to it, though.
while we were listening to Mara, just for you audience members,
Oh,
I
yeah.
took a second to check my phone, and Steve had sent me a picture of him like about to eat a sandwich. And I was like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah, I was like the perfect time to eat it while we're listening to this song.
I mean, I went to use the washroom, so I can't like.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, here's some things I'm gonna plug.
Yeah, go right ahead, man.
All right, so first of all, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, November 6th, I play in the McEwen Big Band. We're gonna be streaming some stuff. If you're
Oh,
a
right.
student.
That's gonna be a treat, man. I'm so excited.
That's,
I heard you guys practicing a little bit last night when I was at the school, and it's sounding really sick.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, a lot of great people in that band who work really hard. Unlike the other
Totally.
bands, Big Band is of course, not something I formed. It's the school's band, and they let me play drums in it as long as I don't do anything too stupid. But
Yeah, this
we're having our
podcast coming out is actually going to ruin that. Sorry about that, James.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, we're gonna do our first show on the 6th of November. It's gonna be live streamed. So if you're a McEwen student, you're gonna have a link. If you're not a McEwen student, you will still have a link because it is an open house. So if you just check us out at that time, I think we're going on at like 2:00.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's for the open house.
With the other like open house events, but let me. Oh yeah. I mean, if you're graduating from McEwen, then I'm going to play your convocation as well.
Nice.
On the 16th. Noise pending. We have a couple shows booked.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Sorry, one show definitely booked. One maybe booked. We're still in the works here. It'll be kind of late November. The venue is down to have us whenever. It's just a question of scheduling on our end, so it's not like we will have a gig in late November. It's not going to get canceled.
Okay, great.
But,
so we'll just have to keep an eye on your guys' Instagram account then to find out when that is.
Follow us on Instagram, noise.pending. I'm pretty sure we're noise.pending. Yeah, we'll post it. We'll put it in the thing, and
it'll be in the.
But we'll be playing there. And February the 19th, mark your calendars, boys and girls. We're having our first big headlined noise pending show.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're still looking for an opening act, but whoever they are, I'm sure they're going to be awesome and really fun and great to work with. But definitely check it out. It'll be a dope concert. I'm just going to say, drive safely to and from the show, but we did create our music to get high to. Just saying. I'm just putting it
take an Uber if you have to.
Yeah, I'm not saying get super wasted, but that is the our way to enjoy our music. If you want,
totally.
If you choose, I'm really big here. I don't need any losses.
But if you're straight edge, trust me, anyone can enjoy this music. If you're straight edge, don't worry about it.
Well, thank you, RJ. Yeah, no, I think it's a good vibe. I enjoy listening to it sober as well. I've never listened to our own music not sober. I gotta try that one of these days. I'll go to church and be a good boy.
Yeah,
never do that. Alcohol, that's bad. I'd never do that.
No.
November 23rd, we're doing a little acoustic broadcast of Midnight Arrival. We're gonna be doing some really.
Oh hell yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah,
nice. Looks like it's gonna be on the 23rd. We no longer have the same lineup as we used to, due to some scheduling issues. But you guys should definitely check us out. There's no fight or anything. It's just a schedule.
Yeah, like you said, scheduling. Yeah.
That'll
be interesting to see what the new lineup
is. We
is.
Don't have a piano player anymore. Jackson, unfortunately, I love working with him, but he just he had too much on his plate. He's a great piano player who has tons of gigs. So
yeah, that's a shame, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to peace out, but so now it's just bass, drums, guitar, and voice.
But that'll be a hell of a show anyway. Like you guys, I saw you guys one gig at the Aviary and it was fantastic. Like Tillman on the bass, Dane on vocals, and then I believe it was Dion on guitar, right?
Yeah, it's Dion.
Yeah.
On guitar,
oh yeah, killer lineup, and then also James on drums and singing, which was also quite a treat. James has a very good singing voice.
Oh, thank you. We actually, fun fact. So Dane likes to play drums and I like to sing. So we decided to do a little switcheroo where he played drums for song, but we made it like a bit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, we acted like we had a big fight, and he kind of kicked me off the drums, and I was like, "I'll show you. Singing's pretty easy." And I think like most people probably caught on that it was a bit pretty fast because like
Yeah.
not like. But one of the guys in the audience who's a member of oh boy, Daryl Saves Lives, DSL.
Oh yeah.
Another great band. One of their guitarists, Nick Lai. He didn't realize it was just a bit. He thought,
Oh no.
actually, like, so he's like, "Oh my god, guys, this is so unprofessional." And then, like, finally, when he realized it's a bit, we sang a song, "Get What You Give." You're gonna get what you give.
Yeah.
By the New Radicals, I want to say, and that's one of Nick Lai's favorite songs. So in his mind, he just went, "Oh, it's a bit. Oh, it's one of my favorite songs." Oh!
Yeah.
He was just losing his mind.
Boom. All happy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a good vibe. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some. I think it's getting like pretty professionally filmed and recorded, and
Oh fuck yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
we're gonna announce more of that. Check us out also at midnight_arrival. Our Instagram handle is gonna be a little bit more active as this approaches. If you get a little confused, we have a moon with a clock on it, with the clock about to strike midnight. Midnight arrival. It's clever. Please tell me. But yeah, that's all I have to announce as of yet. But there are things in the works I haven't announced yet. You should definitely check out my Instagram as well, james.drums430, where I will be announcing all the crazy stuff we do. And if you want to follow that account, I stream from it every Wednesday, and I'll hang out with Steve.
Yeah, I'll be there too.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right. Great. Well, thanks, James. It was great having you, man.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. This is a really cool podcast you guys are doing.
Thank
RJ,
you.
any closing thoughts?
No, none at all. Follow us on Instagram at Here's to Rubble.
And also Twitter under the same name, I believe.
And Twitter.
All right, great.
And yeah, that's it. James, thank you again for coming on. It was great talking to you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.